I'm confused as to why I have nothing. Oh, hey, there we go. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the insanity that is this game. Let me just do a couple little housekeeping things right quick. All right, so we've got the web browser, we've got this. All right, I think that should be all we need. Lo and behold, I got the automatic scene switcher to work, so automatically going back and forth here, yeah. So it turns out you have to use regular expressions in the title names, which is super handy because the documentation, there really isn't documentation. It literally is just a screen. Yeah, it's literally just a screen. Can I show it to you? I guess you know what? I can. This is kind of the jankest of the jank, but you know what? It's gonna work. Well, that's weird. I just took a screenshot. How does it not exist on the clipboard? Let's try that again. Quick from clipboard. There we go. So this is literally what the automatic scene switcher says. Pretty much nothing. It's super useful. So yeah, it turns out you just have to do this jank. I should really move this onto the other window so I'm facing more towards the camera. Oh yeah, that's definitely better. Let me just slide that over so it's not blocked by my face. Yeah, so basically, you just need to say, okay, so we're using Adam, so we need to match any character that's a space or a white space, any character that's not white space, and then anything that says Adam in it, and then it'll match. Same with GIMP. And then Luanti is the other way because it appends strings to the end, so we want this full string matched. And then this. Now, technically, you could just do Luanti, but if I had a folder called Luanti and I opened it, which actually I don't think I do because the folder is still called MindTest because the repository is still called MindTest. But anyways, yeah, so that's that. But it works now, as you can see. Right? It's working. Woohoo! And when you pop on over into the game, it works. Still have to turn the minimap on manually because I don't think I can make that automatically happen. But yeah, all is good in the neighborhood. So I think we're working on menus today because this is just not gonna happen. So first things first. Hello, Sipur Studios. Welcome to the stream. Working on the game jam. Okay, so we have a form spec and we have a background, which is made slightly larger. Now, someplace, probably in info, I'm using a 64 pixel resolution for the UIs, which unfortunately, or maybe not unfortunately, I don't know, but the HUD, I have no idea how I would even calculate that to any sort of a pixel resolution. So it's just whatever it is. And I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's that. So what we need to do here is create an image that this is going to fit onto. So I'm going to pop this over here. So we need a new image, which unfortunately it won't show the screens, which I don't understand why it doesn't, but so be it. So our background image is 14 by 10 because the form spec is 12 by 8, but I want to have one full inventory slot of border, which honestly I could probably drop down to a 0.5 of a border. But we'll see how it looks with the full version first. So we want 14 times 64, which please GIMP, let me type a mathematical expression. I can type a mathematical expression, but the second I hit enter, it created the image, which isn't quite what I wanted to do. Yeah. So that was 14 times 64. So of course this is just going to be 640. Okay, so that should be the correct size. So now we're going to use the same graphic as previously for the HUD. I just need to browse over to that real quick. which I believe was this sheet. Worn paper texture. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, then we want to move it till there's someplace that doesn't have a horrible gash in it. May not happen, which is fine. It's worn paper after all. It is what it is. I think we might just go this. Sure, why not? Okay. So the next step is to add an alpha channel. It already has an alpha channel. Excellent. We can remove the background layer because I don't need that. I do apologize if you can't see any of the UI elements here. That's just kind of what it is. I don't know of a way to make these larger. Yeah, scrolling in those doesn't seem to do anything. I feel like there's probably a setting someplace for that. I'm just looking super quick. We have preferences. Let's just go and do that. And then interface, blah, blah, blah. Use compact sliders. I don't even know what sliders are. Theme, toolbox. Use tool groups. I do not see a single thing here. Check sizes and medium. Monitor resolution. Okay, I don't know what any of that means. Yeah, it doesn't look like I have an option to change the size. So if anybody knows of a way to do that, you know, I'd be willing to do it. But at the moment, I don't believe there is a way to do it. So we're not doing it. I know. What a horrible person. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with the same corner that I used on the HUD. Oh, wait a second. First, let's throw that half, take all the transparency. Let's throw the half pixel Gaussian blur. We want some Gaussian blur here, boys. Oh yeah, that looks really good. I just want to take off some of those hard edges. But I got to do that before we take any of this away, because otherwise it'll blur the edge, which I guess maybe wouldn't be the biggest issue in the world, but it's not what we're going for. I should note here that this is going to be a tabbed thing. So what I'm rounding the corners for on the top is actually nothing, because that'll all go bye-bye. But hey, we'll have corners at least, and then we'll go from there. So we're just gonna go ahead and export as, and you know, honestly, I don't even know, that is not where I want to be exporting to. We want to go textures. I don't think any of this is showing. It's not. I'm just going to the navigating to where I need to save this. And I honestly don't know what this is called. This is called lobby button background. Yeah, that's a, what's, huh? That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even follow convention. So we're going to change that to Kobo Inv BG, because I don't think I'm using that elsewhere. And if I am, we're going to have problems. However, I happen to know I'm not, because I'm looking at the files for, that's actually gonna have to be changed. But for the time being, it'll be okay. We're gonna go ahead and launch the game back up, see how that looks. Hey, it's pretty obvious it's the same as the HUD. Also, is it just me, or does the color look a little different? Which it really shouldn't. Can I pull up the minimap when I have this? No, I can't. Okay, well, that's fine. Minimap, there we go. Rounded corners. Very nice, very nice. Now, if I do F5, do I have debug? I need to grant myself debug. Grant me all is the easiest way to do it. Pull up the inventory, and now we can get the debug information, which actually doesn't help us at all, because it literally shows us nothing. Okay, well, that's fine. I happen to have a little, oh, I forgot. Oh, yes, also, invisible shirt. Very cool. I have this. Oh, yeah, you can totally 100% read that. I should really make sure there's nothing on this piece of paper that could potentially dox me. Oh yeah, no, there definitely isn't. Yeah, you can 100% read this. This is the plan for the menu. You can't read it at all, and it's, I don't know, I guess it's just probably too bright. So anyways, I need 4 tabs is the plan. Now, I could have done this with Simple Fast Inventory, or sfinv, as it would be short named. But it didn't let me theme my tabs at all, and it didn't let me pick the order of the tabs, which was kind of a big deal. It probably shouldn't have been, but it was. I want to have control. I want to make things the way I want them. I wonder if I should do a 1 pixel border around this invisible, just to make sure I don't get any goofy edge stuff. I don't know. I may not need that. We're gonna put a I don't even know what this thing's called. A guideline? Is that what these are called? I don't even know. Whatever it's called. I think it's called a guide. We're gonna put it in at some place. I don't really know where. So if the thing is 64 pixels, I'm going to put the buttons into invisibleness, which I think I can do. Hoping I can do. So we want this at 64. Okay, and that should be then our inventory tabs, which we're going to try to divide this up. Now this image is how wide? It doesn't actually, I have to do that. It's 896. So if we need to, four tabs, we have an overview, research, building, and then the help button. I just want to divide that evenly. So 4, we'll divide it by 5. So it was 896 divided by 5, 179.2 would be each marker, which would divide it. But actually, we want to go divided by 6, don't we? Because we're doing... am I thinking this right? So we want to have... Let me just throw a new layer in, if I could find my new layer. Yeah, please. Let's just do that. Sweet. Okay, and then we'll just take a pencil with slightly larger. So we have 1 button here, right? And then we have 1 button here. And 1 button here. As you might notice, these buttons are definitely not large enough, but that's fine. Right? And then each button will essentially have a straight line. I drew a really straight line except for this little section right here. And then you'll see you're at this tab, and when you're clicked on this tab, it'll be... So essentially I have to have a whole bunch of different buttons. I could technically make the background different on every single one, but I'm not going to do that. Man, I really hope this isn't a stupid idea. Look how straight my lines are. I'm such a good straight line drawer. Anyways, so if we have 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons, we need to have an inset. So I would rather we need to divide this by 1, 2, 3, 4. But we actually want to divide by 5. Because I also want to have dead space available for each end. So if we do something like this, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does it actually need to be 6? I guess the 2 ends can be variable. So let's just go with, my math came out to 149 and 179 for the 2 different. So let's do every 160. So let's start this one at 20 pixels. Let's do that 32. Oh no, wait, it has to be at 64. Because that's where the menu or the things actually begin to exist. So at 64, is this line at 64? I wish it would tell me where the line is at. Claims it's at 64 now. There's not a better way to do this. I'm building. I'm making a game. What am I building? I'm not sure. At this point, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. My brain's mush. So let's just try 160. So I'll put my next one at 224. Why isn't there just a way to like punch the value in? Is there? Doesn't seem to be. Okay, so then 224 plus 160. Yes, I'm using a calculator because I don't feel like doing math. So then 384. There really has to be a better way of doing this. Okay, we're just going to chuck that one way out of the way. Okay, and then 384 plus 160 is 544. We'll see what this looks like. This is a horrible way of doing this because it takes so much time. And I'm not even... Oh, actually, you know what? I think we're going to come out all right. And then 704. 704 puts us right there. And then we should really put one in at the very end of the image and move it over 64. So we know where our actual bounds are here. Now, is this the best tool for the job? No, not really, because these guidelines really don't mean anything. I'm building a menu, and I hate every minute of it. No, actually, it ain't that bad. Because I have a special cheat tool. It's not a cheat tool. I'm not cheating here. Okay, so oh, actually, it probably comes through a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and delete my outline layer because I don't need that. But then I do want to make a new layer, I think, because we want to do a little bit of drawing here for the kids. So if we do this, it snapped to the line and then it snapped off the line. So I don't know, we'll just use the old shift click. Right? So this would be, I don't even know where that line is going or if it's connecting straight. You know what it did? Okay. So this would be our first page, but we would actually have this divided in half. And then this is just kind of eyeballing half. It's probably not accurate at all. So then this would all be alpha. And then these tabs need to be slightly darker. This sounds like a huge mistake. What am I doing? This sounds like a terrible way. All of these tabs need to exist. Oh, but wait. The bottom half stays the same. So I can make the top a partial. What am I doing? Let's go ahead and put some text in here. Let's even make sure that the text fits before we do anything else. Because if the text don't make it, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board. Because that's kind of an important aspect. We just need this text to say overview. Okay, that seems to work. And we'll put that up to, can we fit 32? We can. Okay, cool. Let's pull the top down a little bit. That is not what I wanted to do. Thanks for not working with me, GIMP. Here we go. Overview. That looks, or we could call it main. We could honestly leave it without a tab. And we could, oh wait, we can put the text in. No. Putting the text in code would be better if I ever made any changes. But for scale purposes, I would probably be screwed if the screen's too small and the text overhangs. See, this is the things you have to deal with when you try to do these. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and just hope that this works. So then we need a research. I don't know why it defaults to 18 when there's no reason for it to, but whatever. No, I want to make a new text box. Let's put it at 32, please. And this one's going to be, what? No, we want to put some text in here. Build. Because I'm just really good with menu names, I guess. And then this one is going to be help. The all-important help screen. because people are going to need to know how to play this game because it's going to be so unintuitive. Overview, research, build, help. Horrible names for a horrible game. Then this is just dead space for things. Or I could just do this all with icons. But like, how do you icon for research? Like a book, I guess? Build could be a hammer or a little building. Or both. I mean, I have plenty of space. Help could be like a question mark or a life preserver. And overview could just be a house. I don't even know what's going on what's going on the overview page. My resources, my XP, my research point, and then my toggle buttons for view. So basically nothing. Okay, that's cool. The research, I don't even know how any of that's going to work. The builds where actually all your options are for building things. So that's what we'll do first. And then, of course, help is help. Wow, I'm so smart. Such a genius. So many good ideas here. All right, let's... Oh, that line is definitely not straight. That's right, you can constrain that by hitting control. I need to make this 32 pixels tall. Oh, wait, now this is the one that I can do. Okay, so the size should be 32, and it grows from the bottom. Okay, sure, why not? It doesn't really matter. Let's make sure we're on the right layer. Boop. Gone. Oh, no. Oh, wait. What? Oh, because it's set to a multiply. It should really just be a normal. But honestly, we'll just turn it off because I don't need it right now. Okay, then this one, we want to make the width of 32. And the height should be, I don't know, 1,000. I don't even know where it went. Here we go. Yep, we're going to pop you right to the edge. It snaps. Except it won't delete it now. What? Oh, because I'm selecting the wrong layer. But it won't snap to this edge? Probably because there's not a guideline there. Okay, and then up top, I think we're doing the same thing. So we'll just make that wide enough to cover the box. We'll change the height to 32. I guess the position, I don't even know. Is that going to cut out my text? It will. So we're going to change the height on it to 16. Because it's my game and I can do what I want. Oh, that's funny. I thought it said my position was 0. Position back to 0. There we go. What am I hitting if it's... why does this not... I'm hitting delete. Okay, so there we go. Now we can select all, I suppose. The whole tab thing, I don't know, so we're just going to leave that as is. Come back and take out our corners with the little 4 pixels. I feel like I should be doing probably a little more at this size, but... I don't know. That's what we did on the other one. This pixel density seems to be different. But it worked there, so it's going to work here. Okay, now the menu buttons, whoops, will be up top. So we're actually going to do the curve here. Yeah, because then we will have all of this over to this erased. But we'll go like that for the time being, because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do an angle on these. It'd look nice, but I don't know. Also, the guidelines make the tool snap funny spots sometimes. Like, no, I want on this corner, not that corner. Okay, so then we're going to round the corner on all these at bare minimum. Go ahead. Wait. Oh, no, that's right. I think R is box select, isn't it? Yeah, because it's actually rectangle select, and B is Bezier, or however you pronounce that. I believe it's Bezier. It's probably a French word, because leave it to the French to have goofy words. Coming from someone who speaks no French, of course. I'm sure all the French are like, those Americans have such weird words. Like, why do they have a word like hamburger? To which I would have to say, you know what? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and export this and see how it looks, because it might be awful. You know what? It's not the worst. I can live with that. I don't really care for the text, though. So we might... I might go to actual text, because that would render like this. Much crisper, much nicer. And I can do hypertext and center it to the tab. I'm just worried about screen sizes. If you go to a smaller screen, you know, then your text becomes proportionately larger. We'll give it a shot. Fortunately, because that's text, I can just turn it off. Super easy, like that. No problem. Okay. I think I do have to make each one of these its own. Or do I? No, because I'm just darkening the tab that's not active. I suppose I could do that in a new layer, right? So let's go ahead and make a new layer. The name doesn't really even matter. With a multiply mode? Sure, I guess. I don't know. Let's just go to a gray like that. I should have definitely picked a larger brush, because that's going to take days. Oh, yeah. See, this will actually... This will be perfect. So I can just... That might be darkened too much. Let me pull it up. I think I can also just easily tweak that by adjusting the opacity of the layer. Sure can. All right. Well, that's probably the easiest thing in the world then. Okay. That makes this a little bit easier. So for starters, we need to determine what our tab option or our tab is going to look like. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new layer and call it tab. I usually don't name my layers anything. They're just whatever. They don't get names, but in this case, I feel like it could be helpful to name things. So we want to be on the pencil. We want to zoom into our tab. Now, if we start at the bottom corner, see, that's why I don't like these guides. They don't work. And we come in 3. And then that's 3 pixels, right? 1, 2, 3. Yep. So then we go to our next guide. 1, 2, 3. So we actually go to the 4th. And then to there. And then, of course, our tab goes all the way across. And our tab goes all the way like that. And then we'll just go ahead and fill bucket. All right. That looks good, but I feel like the corner is a little sharp. So we'll just do a little number like that in the corner, which I think's decent enough. So then for this, what am I wanting to do? I need to take this and go... No, wait, I need to... If we make a select... Okay, let me do this the better way. I'm going to copy and paste that. And then I'll move it over to right here. And then I want to anchor my selection. There we go. Then I'm going to go ahead and paste it again. Put it there, anchor selection. And one last time, anchor selection. All right, so now we have all of our tabs. We'll take the magic wand, select all of the tabs, Control I to invert the selection, go to the worn paper texture layer, Shift E to erase. There we go. Make the brush bigger. Then I can come through and paint these out like so. Perfect. Then I just take the tab layer off and Control A to select all, I guess. We'll turn off this darken layer. There we go. I don't know if there's an easy way to just make the guides invisible, and I ain't about to move them all, so they're just going to be there. I do wonder if I should use different angles on the tabs. Should the far end of it be at a greater slant? I don't know. I'm not a menu tab person. Menu, what would we even call that? File, folder, menu, tab, design. Yes, we are doing a shameless Google image search here to, hey, perfect. We got some graphic identity person on DeviantArt. Definitely doing straight with a much greater corner tab and a gradient for the non-selected. Honestly, pretty decent. Can I just, because nobody can see this, and we're just going to create from clipboard. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, so this is this graphic identity person on DeviantArt. And this I like this. This is good. I mean, I don't know if it's really good, but this is what we're going to do. So I do need a sharp corner there, so I pretty much need to undo everything I just did. Gotta love graphic design. Am I right or am I right? Okay, we're going to get rid of this. Okay, so I think this corner is good. But this one I want to make a greater angle. So we're going to go to the eraser, size of 1, make sure we're on the tab selection. And maybe we'll come in at like a 45. But now I have to keep in mind that whatever I do here means I'm losing space for my tab. So I do need to be fairly conservative in my tab angle. All right, and we'll come in like this. And then we were doing the little corner like that. What's magic wand select anyways? U. And it selects it all. Yeah, well, I don't want that. So I guess I just have to paint it out by hand. But I think once I get one pixel distance between all of these, it'll actually work just fine. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, so now let's see how that looks. You know what? If we ignore the marching ants, it'll do. And just do the exact same thing as before. Copy and paste it over, anchor it, paste it. You know the drill. And if you don't, I don't know what to tell you, because it's the same drill that I've been doing the whole time. Okay. So then again, we go to the magic wand select, then we select this, Control I to invert selection, Shift E to go to the eraser, make our eraser a little bit larger. Go down just far enough, but not too far, because I don't want to erase the actual image that I want. Okay. Looking mostly good. There's a few little pixels floating here. I have to come in with a small brush. Look at that. There's a pixel there and a pixel there. For shame. I don't want those. Beautiful. Okay. Ah, yes. Let's go ahead and export this out just to see how it looks in game. Yeah. I mean, it's tabbed menus. That's what we were looking for. I kind of dislike that 1 pixel sharp edge there, but you're going to have that. So it is what it is. All right, so then we have the darken, which I'm actually going to go ahead and delete because I think I can take the tab. This is such a janky way to do this, but it'll work. So I need to duplicate this. I think I need 3 copies of the tab. So we're gonna have. Oh, this is such a bad idea. Okay, so we have tab that's just straight up dark. So we're gonna call this dark tab. Because why not? Then we have LR tab, and we'll have RL tab. RL tab. So the dark tab is just going to be a singular tab. So actually, no, we'll just use rectangle select to kill this all off and kill off this too. Perfect. Okay. Then the left to right tab, actually, we're gonna do the same thing and just nuke all of that. And then the same for the right to left tab. And you might be wondering, what in the world is this guy doing? These are the words of a maniac. Well, the dark tab is obviously for a non-selected tab. So we'll just duplicate that as needed. We will put this to a multiply and drop the opacity down to, I don't know, 40. Completely arbitrary number, means nothing, has no value. Chat disconnected, chat reconnected. What, did I lose network connection? All right, so then the left to right tab, we're gonna select none. We're gonna, whoops. I can't even see what I'm selecting, so that's kind of a problem. Might have to put that to full. I don't get it. Oh, I have to do it that way. Okay. So now we only can move the active. Okay, so we have the dark one set to multiply. We have this one, which is not yet set to multiply. This is not the tool to use to do this. Okay, it's still off by a pixel. There we go. All right, so now we have the left to right tab, which is going to be a gradient. So we will make sure we have black and make sure we have pure white. Right, yeah, and then we want the gradient, which would be foreground to background. And okay, what is this doing? Because that is not what I want at all. I may have to go to a selection first. Okay, this, oh, because it's shaped. I want linear. And I want no repeat. I want to extend. Yep. Okay. Now the question is left to right. Should that be dark on the left to no darkness on the right? I think so. So we're going to go ahead and put this on the marker. So I guess start point will be 64. We'll put that to 40 just so it's even. I could angle it. I don't know if that would make sense. Let me take a peek at this person's. That doesn't really look. No, you know what? It does look like it's angled. Okay. I can do an angle too. Fine by me. Trouble is I just need to remember all of this exactly so that I can replicate it. So let's go to 120. Just a completely arbitrary number. 64 and 40. 120 and 16. I feel like I should write these numbers down because there ain't no way I'm going to remember this. And I don't even know what any of this actually is. So this is good. 64 by 40. And the end is at 120 by 16. I only need to know that because the opposite one needs to do more or less the same. So there we go. If I could figure out what I was doing, we have what? No, oh. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Okay, so dark tab, you know, everything's got to be done in the graphic. That's fine. I can deal with this. We'll just put gray to 50. And then we will... Oh, because of the selection. Okay, there we go. So then our angled one needs to be going from black to gray. Oh, there we go. Okay. But first I need to pull a selection on this, which I can't do anymore. However, I can select, oh, genius. I can select everything that it's not and invert the selection, and then we have the selection that we want. Sweet. All right, let's try this again. Gradient at whatever and whatever. Straight black, I guess, is a little too black, so we'll put that up at 16. I don't know. 20. I would like there to be a little bit of... Oh, yeah, maybe don't change the hue. Change the luminosity. That might be better. Yeah, we'll put it to 10. That looks good. Okay, our start point was supposed to be 64 and 40. Beautiful, beautiful. And then our end point was 120 and 16 to give us that perfect angle. No, I just want to confirm that that's what I want to do. Sweet. Okay, so then we can now take this. This is a lot more complicated than I was expecting this to be. I don't like it. Okay, so we have, and, you know, I guess this tab could have just been a box for all it matters. It's just a multiplication against it. Well, whatever. I'm not going back and making it a box because that's just way too much work. Okay, so then that's clearly your active tab, and then we would just take the dark tab, and honestly, I would just duplicate the layer because I'm not about to do anything else. There we go. So then this is the first tab selected. Too dark with a bit of a gradient. Okay, so we're going to export as inventory background _1 because it's the first tab. I know, I'm just so smart sometimes. Okay, so then for tab 2, we're basically making the first tab dark. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think I need the other tab. Unfortunately, I can't tell which one I have, so that's a bit of a problem. If we put this one here, and then we do the beveled one. Yeah, because the way the tab is slanted, I don't know. It's too much work. I feel like the tab should be kind of going underneath, or maybe not so shaded. You know what? It's just gonna be what it is. Call this background 2. I'm spending way too much time on stupid tabs that nobody cares about. You know, I know why this is so complicated. Layer, let's crop layer to size. Crop to content. Hey, look at that. Now I can actually tell which layer I'm dealing with. I should have done this a long time ago. That makes it so much easier to tell which layer is which and what I'm grabbing. And then I can even go back to the pick layer. And I can actually pick the layers that I want to be picked on. Oh, and now it snaps to the... Oh, this is so much better. Okay. Export as background 3. These are like 2 megabyte files. Woo! And then this one, I guess we'll just make it invisible, and we will duplicate this one because I need one for here, for the third tab, or for the fourth tab rather. All right, and then we're going to... Okay, that's an awful lot of work for something that may or may not even actually end up being what we do. Like, this has only been 45 minutes of useless menu. It's not entirely useless. Okay, so now we need to go back to here, and we need to change this to inventory background underscore 1. And, oh yeah, you know what? I like it. It works. It's got a certain amount of jank to it that makes it work. All right, so this first tab is supposed to be the overview. So we are going to go ahead, because some of this can stay local throughout. So we have local, I'll just call it form spec, basic, sure. And that's going to equal all of this. So the form spec version and the size will always be the same on all of the menus. So we can just eliminate those 2 lines and just call form spec basic. Now the background will change for everyone unless I did the buttons as their own thing, which would kind of make sense to do, but we're not gonna do. Also, I don't know if I actually need to call this as a function at all. Do I? Is there any reason for this to be a function? We have buttons. The research, well, the overview does show all of your resources on it. So I suppose we're gonna need a player name for that at least. So we're gonna have a local function here, and we're going to rename this to, you know what, let's just call it tab 1, because that's probably the easiest way. And then we need the player's name. So we'll do name. So then we're going to change this to name, which means we have to declare a name. Local name equals player get player name. Oh, because we're trying to do that. Okay. I don't know if it's really worth doing it for saving that little amount of space, but whatever. I don't know if these all need to be functions. The research has to be a function because that's going to have, I don't even know how that's going to work. Let me put a comment in with the names here, just so I don't get confused in the future. I'm like, what are these tabs for? So this is the research, which I don't know, maybe building should be before researching. Also, I don't know how the buttons, can I do a button that's invisible and just kind of have it in that whole area? I wonder if I can, because that would be optimal if I can just make the whole area be a button. I think I can do that, honestly. Okay, well, we're just gonna call these all out as functions. They probably don't need to be. It's probably suboptimal. I don't know what any of the tabs are actually going to be called as of just yet. So other than help, that'll definitely be called help. And that one definitely does not need a function passed to it. So that could just be a local. And that'll be tab 4, by the way. We're going to call that one a local. Local tab 4. Then we don't do any of that stuff. And we have to put an equals in. tab 4 equals this whole thing, whoops, can be shifted back. So we'll call them the form spec basic, which will do this, and then the background there and the background here. The buttons can go bye-bye. And instead we want to replace that with a text area, which, because I am so good, I'm just going to go ahead and copy from a different form spec. Because that's just how we roll. Also, I think all the buttons can be in form spec basic. So they'll be the 4 tab header buttons. So that at least saves me some stuff. Do I want to keep it this way with the escape page 1? Honestly, that would probably be the easiest thing in the world to do. But for the time being, we shall just put a bunch of text in here. This is how to play the game. Don't. We do have to escape the... There we go. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's how you really know that you're doing good. Okay, so each of these will be a tab. So I can just do a really easy... I want to put the tabs in first for really no reason other than organization. That's going to mean that this needs to change to an else if statement. If fields tab 1, then essentially we're just showing a player a form spec, which I'm not doing, which is weird because I thought I had this set so when you did these, it refreshed the form spec for you. But it doesn't. Oh, no, that's in the base where it refreshes the form spec for you. You know what, though? I do really need to be refreshing that here, too, though. Because if you're buying a camp and it's going to show you your resources on that page. Or do I? See, now that's... Because you already have the HUD, and the HUD updates with all that information all the time. Or does it? It doesn't. This is not updating the HUD. So the HUD wouldn't update until... Well, that's not great. That's going to definitely need to be changed a smidge. So if tab 1, we just want to show tab 1. Easy enough. Tab _1, and we're just showing player. I don't even know what this form spec is called. Does this form spec even have a name? It's the player's inventory. There's got to be a form name for it, right? I think it's a form name of space. Let's try that. If form name equals essentially nothing, then everything here has to be indented. Oh, duh, there has to be a double equals. Okay. I'll just do a simple, because I love doing it that way. Okay, then I just exit this. Find the old terminal that's floating around here someplace that I launched a Luanti with. And let's see what... Oh, great, it crashes. That's good. Attempt to call global FS and no value. Wait, what? Oh, so I am. Well, I suppose it should just be tab 1. Which is passing a name, which is what we need, so that's good. Okay, oops, sorry, my bad. Okay, so now we click a button and it says test. Perfect. So that means the stuff there is correct. So now this will only run when it's the player's inventory that we're getting calls from. instead of literally being anything. So then this should just be a space. Okay. We should be passing the player name, because again, everything here is expecting a player name. And then we just do a super easy else if fields.tab_2, then, and we literally just show this one with tab2 as the variable instead. And because we're literally doing the same thing for 3 and 4, we'll just copy and paste, because why waste time typing? Why waste the keyboard clicks? You know, they're only rated for an X number of clicks. And if you do too many clicks, they just break. If it's rated for 1,000,000 clicks, when you hit the key for the millionth and first time, the whole keyboard just explodes in a fiery ball. I saw it on the internet, so it must be true. Okay. Well, what are you saying? What? The keyboard blowing up? It's true. I saw it on the internet. It has to be true. Internet is not allowed to have any lies on it. I heard that on the internet too. I have my web browser so tiny that I can't even see my windows. This is awful. I'm trying to find the Lua API. Is this the API? No, this is the MyTest Conf example. Okay, I need to change this because I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Modding reference. Okay, so we want to do a quick search for button. Form specs made of buttons. Yes, it is. Okay, so we have a button. Clickable button when clicked fields will be sent, or blah, 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 blah. Labels label the button, blah, blah, blah. I don't really need that image button. Texture name is the file name of an image. Height is supported in both the old and new coordinate system for image buttons. Image button. Okay. You know, I did this. I think I just want image button. I've done this in the past where I did an invisible button because it was like a hide and seek kind of thing where you were trying to, you had to click on the, oh no, actually it wasn't a hidden button. I did a hidden button for something. Because I made an issue on GitHub because if you have, and I think this has now been changed, but you could just hit F5 when looking at any form spec and it would go into debug mode regardless of what privileges you had or didn't have. And all you had to do is move your mouse around and it would show you where the hidden button was. And it was like, well, this breaks the whole game. It was like I think like a Where's Waldo kind of thing where there was just a picture and you had to click on a certain element in it. It was for like, I don't even remember what it was for. Something for the Among Us game. But anyways, yeah, it just made it not work. So I ended up just putting in like a handful of fake buttons. That way you couldn't just cheat to do it and just F5 and find it because you would show the wrong ones. And they changed every time and it would close the form spec out. Yeah, so that was that. It was great. Okay, now's where we need to jump on over into something to make our lives easier because I'm all about having an easy life. So to do that, I just need to go ahead and pull up. I have to get my texture for the menu. Any texture will work. It doesn't really matter which. We'll just take this. These are all 1.3 megabytes. This is going to be, there's 6.5 megabytes just for these background images. That's kind of a joke. But it is what it is. You know, if you want things to look good, you just have to be okay with it. I could probably make that fewer text or fewer colors and it would still be fine. Anyway, we're getting to the good stuff. I'm going to use the form spec editor game. I just need to throw some data into there so that I have the texture available to me. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. And then I just need to open this file and let's go ahead and play the game. Okay, so we have something that's pretty much not what we want, but we're going to make it what we do want. So we'll start with form spec version being 7, because that's what we're using. Okay, and then we'll do size 12 by 8, because again, that's what we're doing. And then we will do the background. I don't know why I'm typing this all in manually like some kind of schmuck when I could literally just copy and paste. Especially after my whole... well, that's weird because I just gave you that file, so how are you saying it doesn't exist? Oh, this is the non-gradiented version. Okay, well that's fine. I can work with a non-gradiented version. I don't even know what OBS is showing right now. I should really make sure. Yeah, can we have it show mine test while we're... Luanti, sorry. While we're doing this? There we go. Sweet. So the form spec editor game, it just does real-time updates. So you can't like click and drag elements, but you can make a form spec in a text file. I mean, that's what form specs are in text files. And it'll just copy it as, or it'll just update as you go. So unfortunately, every time you click outside of the form spec, it crashes, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so we have an image button and we just need to put a position in there. So I'm gonna go ahead with 1, 1 just to see where that's at. And then we'll make it like 4 by 1. And it needs some other things, so we'll put like, I don't know what the other things are supposed to be, honestly. Invalid image button element. So what is the image button supposed to have? The width, the location, texture name, and a name, and then a label, which the label will be nothing. Oh, whoops, I put it in the wrong spot. Oh, you know, I probably could have just looked at this. There we go. Woohoo! So now we have this lovely blue. So I can now play around and change my numbers. I was afraid of that. This is a problem. This is kind of a big problem. So I can't put my image button to negative because it disappears. So that's as high as my button can go. That means I have to redo everything. What if... Okay, what if we change this? Let's put the background at... Ooh. Let's keep that one at -1 and put this one to 0. Okay, that slides it down. We would then need to change the image size to 13. No, wait. We would need to change to 9. Not 19, 9. Okay. And then we would have to make the background invisible, which I don't remember how to do, but yeah, it's doable. It's not that hard. Honestly, I think in the... if I could find the file here. Here we go. I believe I have the background set here. Yep. We just do a simple background color of black, showing nowhere. So technically, I don't think it even matters what you set the background color as long as it's not showing. There we go. I mean, you can't see what I just did, but I made it work. Aha. Okay, so then I would be changing my button. Let's go to 3 wide. Okay, let's go to 2.5, not 25. That'd be quite hilarious though. 225. Okay, so we could do like 2.325. There we go. And then we'd have this whole area to select for the button, which does seem a little bit large. So let's do this. Oh, because I cut that off at the top. Why? Oh. Okay, there is something with a no clip on it. No clip equals true means the button doesn't need to be within specified form size. So we're going to try that. So we would be going to image button, and I think we would just put false in. And then I would go ahead and put this to -1 and put this back to -1. And it has disappeared. And I don't know why. What about real coordinates? Anything past, I think, form spec version 4 automatically uses real coordinates. Oh, I may need to change this back. Okay, so that's the right size now. So our image button, let me just change it to 0. Here to, oh, because I had something. It's very much not right. I don't want a label that says false. Image button. I have the X and the Y coordinates, which is 0. Then I have the dimensions, texture name, which I guess I can go ahead and call test.png just so I know it's a texture name. Then we have the name, which would be what's pressed as. Oh, the label. The label should just be nothing. And then we put in false. Okay, and now it's invalid for some reason. Oh, I might need to do a few more semicolons. There we go. We have a box. So I can go ahead and put the label in here. Like that. Which is great, you know. It really isn't, but it's whatever. Okay, and then let's try this. Okay. Well, I thought we had this thing called no clip. Oh, wait. No clip needs to be set to true. That made no difference. Oh, you know what? I think I'm adjusting the wrong thing here. I think I actually want to be changing this. Hey, there we go. Okay, so it should probably be -0.75. Okay, so we'll go to -0.78. Okay, I guess we'll go to -0.7, and that drops it down. 7.2 pulls it up a little bit. 7.4. So yeah, 7.5 looks correct, which makes sense because it was whatever it was, 16 or whatever. Now if I click that, it clicks as a button. I don't like that it has the depressed texture, but I believe if I define that no clip true, draw border, we would just do false. Okay, so we're still getting a pressed version, but I think if I use the same texture for the pressed and the non-pressed, okay, it still changes a little bit, but because it's going to be invisible, I don't know that matters. So like if I take the label off, you know, you see the top of it moves just a smidge. But as an invisible texture, which actually can't I do, I want to say blank.png exists. Hey, there we go. Now there's a button, you're clicking it, but you don't know you're clicking it because it's invisible. Sweet. Okay, so then I just need to duplicate this 3 times. And we need to change our offset. So if we're doing 2.325, let's go to 2.5 for this one. What? It's just right? Sweet. Okay. So then I just need to pull up a calculator. Because I need to figure out what I'm doing here. So we're doing 2.5 minus 2.325, 0.175. So then I want to do 0.175 plus 2.5 plus 2.325, which makes the next one end at 5. No stinking way. So then 7.5 for the next one? This is too easy. This is too easy. This is way too easy. It's like I know what I'm doing. This is scary. Okay, well, we have 4 buttons, which is exactly what we need. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy those out and pop them into our doodad here. Now, because the form spec editing game doesn't put things into, it just takes them as straight strings. So you have to put them into quotes yourself. And then, of course, we have to add the ellipses, 2 periods. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop on back over to my game. Oh, before I do that, I think this is tab underscore 1. This would be tab underscore 2, tab underscore 3, and I really hope these are the right fields to be putting this information in. Tab underscore 4. Okay. Please work. What? No! Attempt to call up value, tab 4 is string value. Oh, yeah, because duh. Tab 4 is just tab 4. It's not a function because it's a help screen. It just, yeah. Okay, now I just changed all of these back to blank. Yeah, I just took one letter out of it so it would show up the colored box so I know it's there. The moment of truth. The moment we've all been waiting for. Will it work? This is so good! This is so good! I love it! Dude! This is genius! I should get some kind of an award just for this menu. This is so good. Okay. Let's not hyperventilate here. Let's get back to the boring stuff. Sorry about your ears. My apologies, good sire. I meant not to harm thine. What's the fancy word for ear holes? Ear canals. There's probably a better word. Not olfactories, because that's smell. I don't know what the fancy word is for ear. Oh well. Okay, so now we basically just need to make things happen. Let's start with the help screen, because that seems like the best thing to start with. So we're going to go ahead and make mine test the active window so that the auto scene switcher will have the right information. And we're just going to go ahead and put in a text area. And I don't know where to start this, so we're going to start it at 0, because why not? And our width will be, I guess, 12 and our height 8. Just take up the whole window, why not? And then 3 semicolons, because we can't edit it. There's no field to send in, something else. And we'll do that. Okay, so we have some very small text that says this is help, which really seems really small, because all of the other text in the game is quite large. Okay, but we're at 0, 0. Let's go ahead and turn on debug here. Oh, we can't. Okay, well, can't even pull up a chat command. Okay, well, I mean, so I think the issue is because we're going a half inventory slot over, so I should set my height on this one to 0.5, because that'll more or less even out the spacing here to the spacing here, which is what we want. We can get rid of this exit button, because that's not helpful at all. And then we're just going to type something really long. This is help. So you should read it to learn how to play the game, etc. Okay, we're not even close to filling this whole thing up. So I'm just going to do everybody's worst nightmare and just paste the same text 1,000 times. There we go. Okay. We have a lot of dead space on this side. So that means that this needs to be wider. But I'm at 12 wide, which is as wide as the form spec is. What? What if we go to 12.5? 12.5 fits, but now we're chopping text off. Huh? Can I just oh. I can. I'll just do this. I'm going to make an image button and set it at 0, 0 and make it 12 by 8. And then we'll actually know what our form spec area is. So then we just need, okay, and we need something else. Okay, let's actually change the name of this one so it's a different color. All right, so this green box is our available form spec area, which does make sense. So I guess it's just word wrap that's causing this to sit that way. It's got to be. I mean, we'll just throw in some fake lipuslorum, which is basically just keyboard mashing with a lot of spacebar presses. So that way, oh no, I must have some illegal characters in that. Yeah, I see a problem. I put a square brace in. Probably don't want a square brace. And I also have some semicolons. Don't want semicolons, because that'll definitely not work. There we go. Okay, we're still not really coming close to this edge at all, even with all of this completely bogus stuff. So I don't know, but I think it's good enough. So then we're just going to put in some text, like some actual real text. All I have is how to play the game. Wow. That's exactly what I would want to know. I know there is a lorem ipsum generator, but not in whatever my text editor is called. I don't even know what its name is. Let me get to the about. Zed. It's the Linux Mint's text editor. Yeah, it doesn't have a built-in lorem ipsum generator, and I don't feel like going to a website to pull up a lorem ipsum. So, but yeah, there we go. We have a how to play the game. That looks good. I do feel like maybe that should be a little higher up, though, because that just feels like a lot of dead space on the top. So let's change this to like 0.125. There we go. So we just have a little bit of space up top. So that'll be our help screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that and then paste it right into here. So that'll work for the game. Then, whoops, we'll actually check it out. Check it out, see how it works. How to play the game. The text is as the text should be. Oh, now we get the F5, so we can see all of our buttons. We can see our image. We have the background image, everything that covers. Our text box. Is there... Ooh, you know what? I think there is. I think I can stylize text and make it larger. We are going back into the form spec editor, boys. And we are going to look at styling because I think we can do that. Blah 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 style. Okay, select the blah 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 style type. Yeah, we don't care about that. Set focus. Don't care about any of that. So we have. I don't care about any of this. I just want to know does text area is supported. Woohoo! So I think. How does this work? I've done this in the past, so I know it does work. So we do style type, and then we're going to make all text areas, which is fine because I only have one text area, so that shouldn't be a problem. I don't know. I guess we'll just change. Is there like a text? I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and do color equals black. Okay, well that's not doing anything. Maybe text color? Maybe text underscore color? No, okay. Well, I mean, I know I can do it, so how do we change the text color? We have font. Okay, well, that's fine. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's font color. We have button, valid properties, text area, box, button, blah, 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 font size, which is helpful. I do definitely want to turn that on. Image button list, blah, blah, blah. None of this is doing me any good. Oh, here we go. Style color. Given color is a color spot. It's just supposed to be colored. Do I not do an equal sign? Do I do like a comma? No, it definitely should be an equal sign. I've done this elsewhere, so I know it works. Well, you know what they say when you can't find out how to make something do what you want it to do? Look at some code elsewhere that did what you needed it to do. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and look at the form specs for this. Are any of these colored? Do I have any styles defined here? No, I don't. Okay, well, I know in tasks I did. Because we had a card game. What was the card game called? Because I don't see anything here that looks like a card game. Oh, it's match. There we go. So we have styles type list. Okay, so that's changing. That's just changing how big the inventory slots were. And then we did hypertext for this. Okay. Didn't want to do that. Well, you know what? We can at least get the font size. That'll be very helpful, if nothing else. We will get that. So I just need to find the option for that. Here we go. Font. That's font type. This is a comma. Something another. Something. I don't know. I didn't read it. I just pretend to know what I'm doing. So we want font underscore size. And then it can be a number, or it can be a plus or minus number, or it can be a multiply number. Font size equals, I don't know, plus 2. Let's see what that does. Nothing. Interesting. Okay, well, I just set it to font size 2. Also nothing? What is going on? Does the text area need to have a name? Well, that made it an editable text area, which I definitely do not want. Also, that did nothing. So, no, I don't think I need that. Let's take that out and put it into this field. Okay, now it has a title. Also, don't want that. Okay, let me take out the color. Maybe that's... No. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? See, this is where the documentation sometimes is just not at all helpful. Style. A form spec, style type, and we have the types. Style type is text area. That all looks right to me. Okay, well, let's do text color. I know you can't see anything I'm typing here. Okay. What is going on? Do I have to define this before I define the... You know what? I think that's the issue. I think I need to define the style type before I call the... Or before I use it. Whatever. So if I have a... Okay, well, there we go. Font size of 3 is pretty much invisible. Font size 5... I can't talk. Font size plus 3. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So let's do like plus 8. Okay, well, we don't want a yellow text, so let's go ahead and turn that to black. How to play the game. And now keep in mind that the background... Okay, I guess blank PNG doesn't exist anymore. That's weird. That it'll look like this. How to play the game. Now, does it look like there's a shadow on that text? Which I don't necessarily want, but I don't think I have an option to take that away. Font, bold, italic, normal and default font, border, content offset, sound. I don't even know what any of that means. Oh, that's for other things. I was like, oh, what? Okay, well, I don't see anything. We have colors, size, font, alignments. Okay, that's kind of cool. But I think that is probably what we want. Yeah, I don't see anything here that says anything about the shadow. So the slight shadow there appears to be is just going to be there. I don't know, I might make the font size a little larger. I should really see how this handles the word wrap now. How to play the game. First, you need to place your base. Or did you already do that? Need a little more text. And it definitely all has to be spelled out. There we go. Okay. I mean, I'm not super happy with the dead space there. But let me just try this little trick out. Put a shorter word. No, even a shorter word, it still wants all that space for word wrap. This doesn't make sense. I feel like it's mocking me. Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna work. Oh, we got some more people. Tomalis. Hey, was it Dracofer from yesterday? You're back again? Back to watch one man's trip into insanity as he tries to create a game. Here's the what do we call this? The secret, the underlying reason. See, if I distract people with live streams, then they don't have time to work on their own game. And that just, it makes my chances of winning better, you know? That's all it really is. There we go, how to play the game. Oh, I forgot the most important part. We can't forget this. Man, it'd be something if I just left that for the help text in the final project. But there is. It's right here. There we go. All right, these need some changing. That shadow is good, man. I do feel like this could be done with one image for the tabs and one image for the bottom box here, instead of needing to repeat all of this data. But you know what? I don't care. What's a couple megabytes? It's 2024, almost 2025. If you can't afford to download 6 megabytes of pointless graphics, I don't even know what to tell you. 6.4 megabytes just for the UI graphics. And then the rest of the entirety of the graphics in the game is only 5.7 megabytes. That's great. It's always good when 4 UI element. Well, I guess 5 because there's the HUD. 5 UI elements is larger than the rest of the textures for every single element in the game. You know you're doing things right when you're putting that kind of file size into that. Okay, so let's fire this back up. Okay, we're going to. Is there a way to comment this stuff out? Because I don't want to lose it. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. I might need that text for reference later. You know what? I could do. Let me do this. Let's open a file. How do I even do this? I don't want to do anything. I want to open. Add a project file. I guess it's not really what I want to do, but it'll work. I'm gonna open that in Atom so we can actually know what's going on here, and you can make more fun of me for not knowing what I'm doing more often, because that's what this is all about. Nobody's here to learn. I think this is what I want. What do you mean if you see from the villager's eyes? That is planned. That's a stretch goal. If I can't make that happen, sweet, it's working. If I can't make that happen within the game period, it'll be done after the game. But yes, that is the plan, to make it so you can get like, I don't know how you would explain it, but so you're shorter and you're the height of the villagers, if we're calling them villagers, workers, whatever you want to call them, and then you can run around and, I don't know, I think it might be cool. It doesn't really cost anything extra. I mean, like 2 buttons. Actually, one of those buttons will be on the menu that I'm working on right now. Okay, so we're going to have, you know what, I think this is what we're going to do, actually. I'm going to use this same bit here. And then I'm actually going to just copy and paste this, because that's the best way to write any kind of code, is just copying and pasting. It doesn't need to be this big, though. So this is just going to be an overview. So, I don't know, the width we'll put at 4 just to see how that works, and the height. We'll put that at 4 as well. And then we'll pull all of this out. This one will have to be a function because we're passing variables through. So we're just going to have a resources. I believe I can do new lines. I don't know if that actually... No, that doesn't represent through in here, but I believe I can do new lines. Actually, I know I can do new lines. So we'll have resources. We'll have... I think it's just going to be called XP. I don't know on the specific naming yet. And then research points. And of course, oh, that's because of the size of the box here. All right, so we have that. And then the resources will actually have 4 different resources listed. You know, obviously you'll have your lumber, wood, food. Did I just say lumber and wood? Lumber, food, stone, and metal. All broken down as like subsections of the resources. If this did properly interpret new lines, you know what? I wonder if I can just put a new line. What? That shouldn't even work. But okay. If that's the way it's going to parse it, I'll take it. So then what about spaces? I might have to do some hackery here. So we have food. That should be capitalized. Food, lumber, stone, metal. Okay, so what if I put a space in front of each of these? Will that translate through? It does. Nice. All right, so we're going to just indent that. Three indentations. Three spaces in or whatever. There we go. Resources, we have food, rubber, stone, metal. That'll show the full counts, which is similar to what the HUD shows, but this will actually be like numerically precise, because the HUD after 1,000 goes to a decimal point, so that way it's only ever, is it 3 characters long? I think so. That way, if you had like 475 million of something, you don't have this much text just getting everything all wonky. You have to constrain things to a certain amount of space. But these will just be the full-on amounts. So we'll just say you have 100 food, 100 lumber, because that's what you start with. And I don't remember if you start with 15 or 10. So there. Yeah, okay. XP, I don't know, we'll just put in some random number. It's a lot of XP, actually. Woohoo! There should be a space there. This will all be pulling data in because it will be a function. So that's the resources and stuff, which is good. Then on the right-hand side, there should be something. I feel bad having just all of this empty space. But I don't know. Hey, why is it not? There we go. Sorry. So we have everything listed here. I don't like all this dead space. You can't see my mouse. Oh, wait. Yeah, you can. It's, I can't put my hand that far because of the filtering. But yeah, my cursor's right at my fingertip. So then just follow it. And right up there. I don't like all this dead space. There needs to be something there. But I don't know what. Anyway, we're going to do some more image buttons. Woohoo. Just doesn't love a good image button. Image buttons are so good. Okay, we're going to just put this to, I don't know, just something random because it can be something random for right now. And we're going to call this one wings. And I don't think I need any of that. Except evidently I need some of that. Okay, well, I don't know exactly what that was, but... And then we'll make another one right away. And this one will be feet, I guess. Very descriptive names, mind you. Okay, so we have two buttons that are right on top of each other. Not optimal. It's hard to click on the correct button when you can't even tell what you're clicking on. I did not want to do that. Okay, so that was clearly the wrong direction to move the button. That's our vertical. So wings will be 1. We'll put this 2. I think I meant horizontal there. And this we'll put at, if it's 8 high, I think that means I want it at 7. Yeah, okay. But maybe let's put a little bit of padding between these. So let's change this to that, and then I'll change this one to 1.5. So we have 2 buttons at the bottom here, and this will be to go to walk mode and fly mode. Not implemented, but that's what they will be for, so they'll just be little icons in those. Would probably be good to put some tooltips in. So let's go ahead and do a tooltip right away. And I know I have a tooltip in the base for when you're crafting things, so we're just going to go ahead. Again, because why ever type anything out from scratch when you can just copy and paste? Okay, so that tooltip's for Forager. Well, we want this tooltip to show on the wings button. And we will just change this to say, switch to fly mode. Do we want to call it fly? Do we want to build mode? I mean, technically you'll be able to build in either mode, I think. But it really doesn't matter. Because that's all changed. This is just to get alignment. The text and everything can change in the future. That's not difficult. Difficult part is getting everything to line up properly. Okay, and then this will just be switch to walk mode. Which, if I'm going to call this one walk mode, I suppose this one would make more sense to be called fly mode, because we're describing what you're doing and not whatever. So now if we hover the button, switch to fly mode, switch to walk mode. I don't know if I can stylize the tooltips. It would be nice if I could. We're going to try it. Because, hey, if we can stylize it, let's stylize it, you know? We'll just try that. Okay, it doesn't look like I can stylize the tooltip. Let me just check, though, because maybe there's a different way to do it. Tooltip. Blah, 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 blah. I can do something for tooltip text. Oh. So I actually just put that directly in the tooltip itself, it appears like. Different. So the background color, we will just, I don't know. And the font color, let's just try that. I don't know, see if it works. No stinking way. It works. Sweet. Yeah, I'll do that for both. Anything to not have that disgusting green, you know? It doesn't fit the vibe. You know what I mean? Can I change the size of the font? Probably not. Tooltip. Oh, or you can make the tooltip just go at a specific space instead of one that's done with an element. But the one with an element works just fine for us, and that way if the element moves, as in if I move it, I don't have to adjust anything else because it automatically just follows it, which is nice. Okay, there's a lot of tooltips here, but I don't think I can change the font size at all. Tooltip, what? I don't even know what it means. Yeah, I don't think I can stylize the tooltip beyond that. It is what it is. You know, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Style selector. Oh, let me just look. Tooltip is not a stylable element. Okay, well that's not a huge problem. So we have fly, we have walk. I don't know if it makes any difference which one's where. We're just gonna leave it as is because why not? It seems to be fine. There's just too much dead space here. There needs to be something in that space, and I don't know what. But yeah, we're just gonna take what we have. I have to write the whole function for this anyways. I think I want just this portion. And then I need to go to inventory pages, and this will be our overview. So I'm just gonna paste the entirety of that in. Yeah. And then we'll do this. That was not what I wanted to do. Copy this. Oh, actually, the last one shouldn't have that. And then I'm really confused as to what's going to happen here. I feel like it's not going to work. Yeah, because it's multi-line and it can't be multi-line. Oh, man. So this has to be done with a bunch of new lines. I kind of dislike that. Well, it is what it is. I am going to take a quick break here. I need to go check on some things. I'll be back in a few moments. I should have like a Oh, yeah, that's a really good screen to put it to. We'll just put it to this one. I'll be back quickly, shortly, in a few. And we're back. There we go. Does goofy things to my eyeballs. Okay, I just thought of something. Mainly the fact that the screen's not going to update. So essentially, either I have to do some gross hacking and send the tab to the player every second to refresh the resources, or just have them wrong and have them only update when they open the menu, or every time they navigate back to that menu, or I guess even just clicking on the menu header itself would update it. I kind of don't like that, but that's what we're working with for the time being. So that's what it's going to be. I feel like there's probably a better way of doing this. but it's gonna be what it is. Yeah, so this is totally the best thing in the world. Okay, it looks like it's working. Let's go ahead, launch the game, and launch the game. Where's the game? Oh, I had to go the other direction. Oh, well. Okay, let's see what happens. What? Oh. Duh. Yeah, I kind of have to include the background. That's kind of important. That needs to be included. Yeah, and I pasted over it when I put my new text in. So it's totally my fault. There we go. Oh, because I didn't do a new line on all of these. That's my fault. I don't know why I even say that. Obviously, it's my fault. I'm the schmuck doing this all. So XP has to have a new line as well. Okay. So let's close this out. Open it back up. Turn on the minimap because chat so kindly reminds us to do that. There we go. We have all of these good things listed. Food, lumber, stone, metal, XP, research points. Currently, XP and research points don't actually even exist in the game, so that's really helpful. Okay, now I can just do all of this by copying this, because why wouldn't you? Again, if you can copy something, why wouldn't you? You're saving your keyboard. Although I'm just going to copy the string here and put it here. So I need to do this and that. And then I'll actually copy this whole little bit and paste it over these like so, and then change this from which order does the HUD go in? We have food, lumber, stone, metal. That's what I thought. Food should be first. I don't know how much it matters. Like, is anybody going to be annoyed by the fact that in some places things are done differently? I doubt it. But still, mind test Lua? Luanti. But yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, that would be. Because I didn't update my key. Let's see what we get now. Hey, we have 68,074 food, which would seem right for 6.87. 8,622 lumber. 8.65. That's not even what? No, how is that? What? What? 8647 lumber. It must be doing some kind of math rounding in the HUD. Let's check that out because it's doing a math floor, which should be going down, right? Honestly, I copied this off the internet. I don't know what it's doing. So if we actually have 8647, I'll change to math ceiling and see what that changes. Because it's, okay. And we have 8697. What is, I don't, this doesn't make sense to me. They should match a little more precisely than that. Oh, by the way, here we go. That's our text area for this. That looks good. Switch to fly, switch to walk. Those buttons don't do anything. Surprise, surprise. That looks good. I don't know why these numbers don't. Why don't they correlate? 87.3 should be 8.72. Literally, we're just taking this exact number. There should be no rounding. Well, I guess there should be rounding because we're doing a math ceiling or a math floor. Well, you know, it's probably fine. It's close enough, you know. You're going to have an obvious somewhat difference. Like, yeah, it's... We have 6,999 just as we have 7K food. I mean, it's going to happen, okay? It is what it is. I'm not going to stress about it too much. Which is why I'm stressing a whole lot about it. Okay, tab 2. What are we looking at tab 2? That's the research tech tree. I don't even know. Whoops. I don't even know what that begins to look like. Also, we still need to put text up on the tabs. So maybe I should work on that, because if that doesn't work, we kind of have a really big problem. Like a really big problem. And it'd be very bad. So I think I'm going to try a label. And we'll do it at -1. -1. I don't even know if you can do a label at -1, but that's why we're trying this, because if we can't, that's a problem. We're just going to call it home. Invalid label element. Interesting. What does a label element look like? Oh, we only put one size into a label element. Which I guess kind of makes sense, because it just is whatever size it needs to be to fit. Okay, well, it appears as if either the label can't. Oh, wait, no, I see it here. It's going behind the image button, which is weird because it's defined before the image button. So do labels just always go to the back? I guess so. Well, that's really not the biggest issue in the world, because we can just do this and make them all... Oh. Or not. Evidently, it still clips it. Whoa. No. How can I not? The stuff should stack. One way or the other, it should stack. That's kind of bogus. Either way, it's behind the image button. You would think it would matter which order they're defined in, or something. Like, to adjust the Z depth on it? That's not good. Okay, well, okay, well, I can put text in the middle of the image button. So I could do home research. Let me change that to a capital H. Oops. Let's leave that at true, because that's supposed to be whatever it is. This would be buildings, and the last one would be help. Okay, I can do that. Let's get rid of those. So then that begs the question of what happens when the screen size gets small. Well, I think we can safely say that that we're okay, because the screen's pretty small and the text all still fits. And it doesn't really seem like it gets any bigger when I do that. Does it? Okay, it's definitely getting a little bigger, but nothing too crazy. So I think, can we stylize the text of an image button? I'm 99% sure that's not going to be a thing because why would it? But we're going to give her a shot because I need that text to be bigger or it ain't going to work. So we're going to do a style for image button, text color black, font size +10. Sure. I don't know. It actually works. That's crazy. Sweet. Okay, I don't really understand the whole font size thing here. Like you can do a multiply as well. Woo! Multiplying by 10 is a lot. But I don't know what that actually oops, that's not what I wanted. What that actually does. So let's see here. If we scale this on down, I'm seeing some issues. So multiplying by 10 seems like a bad idea. Of course, who is going to be playing at that screen resolution? Like, come on now. I think if I target like 1080, we're probably gonna be good for any. The text does move now when you click on the. Is that a make or break? Is that worth? I would really prefer if it didn't do that. So we're going to try one last option, the hypertext element. If the hypertext will show to the front, assuming also that the hypertext can be displayed outside of the element, which I don't know if it can. Okay, hypertext X and Y, we're going to do 0 and 0 to start with, and then a width and height. The width is going to be 2.325, I guess. And the height would be 0.75, because that's what we were doing. The name, I don't think even matters. Okay, so we have some very small hypertext here, nearly invisible. You can change the size of it, that's not a big deal. And you can do things like center aligning. But if I put it to -1, it does not display. So you know what? It's gonna be that way. The text will be text and it'll move when you click on it. And I'm just gonna have to deal with it, because I don't think it's worth the effort to try to change that. So I'm going to go ahead and copy our style type here, throw it to the inventory pages. We're going to put it right in there. And then these need to be changed to over. No, we're going to change this. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It can be changed at any point in the future. So it's a quick, easy change when I decide on something different. I think we're gonna go with buildings, and then the last one, help question mark. Just for funsies. All right, let's go back to my game and see how things are looking in the real world. Okay. I do feel like the black text on the darkened tabs may be a bit difficult for some people. However, I'm not sure if white is going to be contrasting enough to the active tab. But therein lies the question. do you really need to be able to read the text on the active tab? Because you're never looking at the text on the active tab to click on it. You're only really looking at the text on the non-active tabs because that's the stuff you're interested in. If you're already on the home button, you're not really overly interested in re-clicking on the home button or even knowing which page you're on, because it's pretty evident once the pages are populated that, oh, hey, this is the help page. Oh, hey, this is the page I go to build things. Oh, hey, this is the research page, which might get nixed entirely, which would be a huge problem because I made this element with 4 tabs. I have to use all 4 tabs. Okay, well, I believe we have... Whoa, Patrick Moran. No stinking way. I know that guy. Righty. XP and research points don't exist yet. Probably need to make those exist. So let's do that quickly here. The best way to do that would be in the player callback, and we're just gonna go ahead and do resource, if we knew how to type, resources.xp equals 0, and resources.research equals, you know what, I'm feeling generous. I'm gonna start you with 100 research points, subject to change. And it only happens for a new player. So because I'm already an existing player, it's not going to show. Also, I wonder if that stuff should be shown in the HUD up top. It probably doesn't matter. These are really the only things you would be waiting. Oh, maybe it should. This is the game I'm designing. Yep. I'll give you a quick little sneak here. Man, where's my base at? Here we go. Here's my base. Or I could have just used the chat command base because that works now. Woohoo. So we've got the base. Oh, this is all very temporary graphics. You can make woodcutters. You can make foragers. Forager will go look for berries, which, hey, there's some berries right here. I don't know why this forager is going to miles away to find berries when there's berries right here. Like, come on, dude. Get with the program. This guy looks like he's gathering food. Bro, there's food right here. Why are you coming way over here? Whatever. They're not the smartest. We've got a tree with 87 wood left in it. This little guy's chopping some lumber. Way to go, buddy. We had a goblin base out here someplace. For some reason, no goblins, though. I don't really know what the deal there is. They have no food or wood, but they have 809 metal. Which leads me to believe there should be goblins out here someplace collecting metal. And I don't see any. And unless I came through and killed them myself, which I very may well have done, because you can just click on goblins and they die. It's for debug purposes, though. But we come over and look at this goblin base and see what they're doing over here, because it should be about the same. They also have 809. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because all goblin bases are tied together. So every base is going to have the same resources, which is kind of funky, but it works well enough, except for the fact that the goblins are all dead. Oh, well. And then, yeah, currently we're working on the sweet main home screen UI, whatever we want to call this. I don't know what we want to call it. But we do have the research and the XP points now. So I can go ahead and put that into the player inventory screen if I could find that. Here we go. So that would be actually the exact same thing, except in this case, it's going to be resources XP. And then resources research. These values will, well, at least the research points will have to show in the research tab. I suppose I also need to show all the resources here, because you're going to use the resources to do the research. Or it's up. There's too many options. Do I put that information just like on the buildings? You're going to need some of this stuff. Well, you'll need all of it but food to make buildings. Do I put it all in here too? Or do I just leave it up here? I feel like I should just leave it up here. Just do away with this whole resources thing. But then I don't know what I put on the homepage. Yeah. My notes didn't get that in depth. So I don't know. The building tab, I have some ideas for. So we can jump onto that because that I at least know some elements of what's going on. All right, so we have all of this that can be eliminated. I just have to find the... Here we go. So I don't need the... Do I need those? I will need one button. So I will go ahead and get rid of this. And I don't think I'm going to need a tooltip for this button. Also, I don't know if I'm going to use an image. I think I might just do a button itself, which evidently is not called button. What? Why is it not called button? I mean, that is what it's called. Why is it? Huh? Okay, well, I know the food bushes have a button in their screen. Oh, these are both button exit. Which I don't think I want a button exit because you might want to build multiples. And that would just be really annoying if you had to do that every single time. Open the menu back up, navigate back to the page. I should probably save which page the player's at too. But I don't know how to do that. So, not going to happen. Okay. What was different? It said button before? Oh, I had a semicolon behind it. Semicolon breaks it all. All right, cool. So now we have a button that says remove tree. I don't actually want it saying remove tree though. We want to say, well, my little note just has the button saying build. So that's what we're going to use, I guess. Make it a little narrower. Yeah, that looks good. And then we're going to bump it down. That was a cross. Per the note, it should be to the left side. And at the bottom, if we're 8 tall, let's go to 7. Not too shabby. I think I'm going to make the button 3 wide again, though. And we'll pull this over to 1. 0? 0. Okay, that looks good. So now we have the button here to build, which this could be... Oh, great. This could be a massive headache. Okay, all of these resources, that's all going bye-bye. We don't need resources. We're not dealing with resources anymore. We are dealing with a nightmare and a half. I bet I could make this... I could make this an inventory thingy-bajingy. Okay, well, I have to figure out what to do there. So as a placeholder, we'll just put in an image, I guess. I just need something to see where my spacing is so that way stuff can get lined up properly. I just want an image. I know I did an image before, but it was an image button, which is different than just an image. I think. I don't even know. Image is going to be X and Y. We'll do 0 and 0 because we want that in the corner. And then the space, we'll take all 12. Why not? And we'll go 3 high because it's going to be inventory slots. And I might actually need all of them. Texture name, we'll just do null. I'm sure null.png doesn't exist, so we're fine with that. And that's all we need. Except that killed my button for some reason. Why did my button disappear? Could not load image, null PNG. Well, yeah, it's because... Wait, what did I do to my button? I think I accidentally deleted the button when I was deleting the other stuff. Not to worry, I can just undo all of that, and I copied out my image, so I can just paste it right back in. Here we go. Woohoo! Okay, now I do want that little bit of spacing here, so I think we were doing 0.125. Whoops, on the wrong axis. 0.125, and drops it down just a smidge, so this will be our inventory screen that'll have all of our different options available. This is gonna be such a bad idea, but yes, if you want to win, you got to do hard things sometimes, you know. Okay, then this we're gonna put down at 3.5, and this will be a 3x3 image, and this will be building, which is, how did I get that 6x3? Oh, I must have just fat fingered it. Okay. I mean, that's looking pretty centered. It's not actually centered. There's a little bit less on the top than there is on the bottom, which is gonna bug me. So if we have 3 units, and we have, we're 8 tall, and this is 3 tall, and this is 3 tall, and the button's 3. There's a lot of math here, but because I've knocked this down to 0.125, see if I take this and put it back to 0, now it matches perfectly. But I kind of want that to be at 0.125, which means this would have to be at 0.625 greater than it's at currently. Right? If it's at 3.5 and I need to add 0.0625, I just that. Hey! Perfectly centered. Okay, sweet. Then, again, according to this is going to be absolute hell to do. Why did I ever think this was a good idea? Okay, so this is our inventory slots. This will be all of our buttons. That'll be all of the buildings we can create. Is this going to be big enough? I don't know. I can always put scroll bars in if I have to. I've dealt with that whole mess in the past. I have code I can just copy and paste and it'll work. This will be the image button, or just the image of whatever you selected. So the logging camp will be available here. And then it'll just show a bigger version of the logging camp here, because this will be your inventory icon, and this will be just a bigger version of it, so you can see more better, pretty much so I can waste more people's hard drive space. That's really what it all boils down to. It's my diabolical plan to make people buy more hard drives, because they're going to be wasting all their hard drive space storing the assets for this pointless game. And then we need a text area. Again, because we need to have a whole definition of everything. First off, we need to reposition this. It's going to be at the same height as the image, I think. So that would be at 3.565. And then, wait, no, that actually might be wrong. Okay, so we have some very small text here. Evidently, I need to restyle my text. So let's do that. Okay. Yeah, that spacing seems off. It's right here, but it's not right there. I think... Oh! Because that should probably be 3.125? Oh, no, I made the adjustment on the wrong thing. So this one should be 125, I think. No, not quite right. So, although I can live with it. Maybe 0.25 would be more correct. You know what? It's good enough. Okay, so then what we would need to do is adjust the width of this. Yeah, it should not be 12 by 8. That's for sure. If we're starting at 3.25, that'd be 8.75, which should take it out to the end because of word wrap and everything, and, you know, it does funky stuff. And then our height if we're starting at 3.5625, and we pretty much have down to the bottom of this, which is 8 tall. If we do 5, I think we'll be good. And then, again, fake lorem ipsum, because I'm not going to open a lorem ipsum generator. Wow, it's perfect. It matches exactly to the bottom of the build button. So then we have our entire description of the building that we're going to build. If we need a scroll, you know what? I think that's why. Because it automatically saves space for a scroll bar even if you don't need a scroll bar, which is honestly kind of bogus. But I think that's what's happening here. I'll just go ahead and delete a bunch of that text. I think that's what it's doing. I think it reserves space for a scroll bar whether it needs one or not. Bogus. Okay, well, this will all have to be called in with functions. I don't even know how this is going to work. I'm hating this design. This is a bad idea. So we'll just do something just for placeholder text. Title. Cost. It's important to know that, not the chopping spot. It's important to know the cost of a building so you can make sure you have the resources. It'll only let you build it if you do, so it doesn't really matter. Description, but I would have liked to save that with a capital D. It just looks better. They should all also have colons behind them just because it looks nice. There we go. Title, cost, description. These actually could be done as different elements so that the title and cost are always visible. But then you get into funky stuff with when you change the screen. Wow, I don't know what I did there. That's not what I meant to do. You get into funky stuff when you change the screen resolutions where then suddenly, stuff's not fitting right, which I don't want. So it's just going to stay like that, I guess, because at least it'll work then. So then this stuff will all have to be pulled in via a function, which, I mean, it was going to be a function anyways, but I am not looking forward to figuring this out. It sounds so bad. So bad. It's a good thing there's only like 27,000 buildings. There's 2 so far. Logging Camp 1, Logging Camp 2. The only 2 buildings you can build. And the best part is you can't even take the lumber that the logging camp collects and bring it back to your base because there's no transportation units yet. It's like, just genius design stuff. Okay, I have tooltips. Does the build button need a tooltip? No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure if you can't figure out that the build button is going to... Nah, you know what? I take that back. I rescind that comment. I do need it because you're actually not building it. You're putting it into your inventory. So yeah, we're going to put a... I do like how the button's internal name is delete. That's great. Let's change that to something that makes a little more sense so future me doesn't have an aneurysm. Okay. And here we're going to do purchase building and put in inventory. No, that's way too wordy. Let's just do add to inventory. And then we hover it and it says add to inventory. Sweet. Yeah, so actually maybe instead of build, it would make more sense for it to say buy. Right? Because we're buying it. We're not really building it until we place it. I feel like that might add to inventory buy. I think that probably makes more sense. Okay, so now... Woohoo. Oh, wait. That is all being handled by other things. So we go back here, and this is going to be tab 3. So we're going to pop it all in right here. Bada boom, bada bing. And then, of course, we have to go through and... Whoops. We have to go through and do all of this so that this works properly. And then we need to do this little bit with that. And then we're going to copy that. And we'll just go ahead and paste it through on all of these. The text area, as we saw here, we just need to put new lines in on each one, but we still actually do need that. So that is correct. The title, I don't even know. So we're just going to not even bother right now, and we'll do the... We're just going to put the new lines in on each so it renders correctly. And we'll deal with figuring it out later, I guess. Okay, so let's see how things work over here. If they work. Oh, wow. That's bad. Oh, yeah, because I don't have Researcher XP. And, well, it's not so much that I don't have them, it's that they're not stored in the table. So I need to go to the file functions where it loads this data in. Power crystals. Yeah, we ain't getting no power crystals. There ain't gonna be time for that. But we do have that. So we just do so if Kobo research equals data research, can I do this? Can I do Kobo yeah, I want resources, not research. Resources dot XP equals 0, and Kobo resources dot research equals 100. That might actually work. And I still need to actually... Oh, wait, no, I threw that in already, the player file. So let's see if this works now. So basically, when the file's loaded, it should automatically... Or not. I guess not. Well, so there's actually a way to fix this. I can just go in and edit the JSON file that the data is stored in. Not my favorite method, but it should work. And just requires some hackery here. So we have a data file. This actually looks like it's going to be a little easier. Oh, wait, no. I just really jacked everything up when I did that. But I think I can fix it just doing this. So I'm going to do this. And research equals 100. And we'll see if that works. There we go. What do you know? I'm not so stupid after all. XP 0, research points 100. Hey, and that's even what I put in the file. So we're good. Now, when I close this, I think it'll wipe that stuff out. Oh, how do I keep deleting my background image? How do I do that? I don't understand. I know I need it, and yet I delete it every time. It's back though. All right, so then, yeah, that's a mistake and a half right there. All right, well, research, I don't know. I know it doesn't need buttons though, so I can definitely take those out. You'll be able to research things eventually. I don't know when or how. There we go. That looks better. My own worst enemy. Okay. This is time for nightmares. The things of horror stories, my friends. The things of horror stories. I don't know how to do any of this. This is not going to be pleasant. The closest thing I can think of... Research, honestly, is probably going to be worse because I need to design a tech tree and then somehow track what things have been researched so that further things can be researched. Whoo-wee! That sounds like not fun. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. So actually, I'll just pull up a different game, because that's the easiest way to do it. We'll use my Among Us ripoff here. Okay, and this is running a version from the... Sweet. Okay, so all I need to do is have the configurator wrench, and there's like a file cabinet floating around in here. I don't know why I have no clip and all this stuff turned on. Let's turn that off. Can I jump over this counter? I can. Sweet. Okay, so we have inventory slots right down here. So essentially, this is what I'm doing. I'm taking inventory slots like this. Tasty cookie. I do enjoy cookies. And apples. Apples are good, man. Smoke grenades? Sure, let's throw a couple smoke grenades in this. It doesn't matter, it's local. Nobody's using it. Oh, a flashlight. I thought it was an oil can. It's like, what? I don't remember an oil can. Okay, so we have an inventory list that is being saved else. Oh, and I can organize it. That's interesting. I don't think I actually... Oh, I guess I actually can. It doesn't matter. Does it matter? It does matter. I don't want this to be... No, that ain't gonna work. I can't use an inventory. There needs to be a list that are all buttons. Okay, well, let's check the next place. So there's the clothing shop outside here. Does the clothing shop exist in this version of the world? It does. Okay. So let me just sneak into here. Hey, mannequin, I'm going to need to show off some article of clothing. Yeah, that ain't going to work. Okay, well, what do we have for these? Because this maybe. Aha. Aha. Okay, so this is more or less what I need to do. However this is done, I need to look at this. I'm just going to waste all my XP buying stuff that I don't need. I don't have enough XP. That's sad. But I have... Wow, okay, I must have had like one less. So basically I need something like this, but these all need to be clickable instead of buttons beneath them. And then when you click it, that needs to pass a value to the function that'll populate the cost in the description. I do remember doing this, and I did it in such fashion that adding more things to it would be easy, relatively speaking. So it's the clothing mod. That's easily enough. And we have the shop. So the shop uses... It uses functions, actually. Because of course it uses functions. Only a moron would do all of this by hand. You'd have to update it all every single time you add something new in. I can eliminate some of this because I can have an actual list. Unless I'm putting the cost in and the description. Do I put those into the elements? That seems like probably not the best idea in the world, but it's probably the easiest idea. So that might be what we do. Because things, you know. All right, so how does this actually work? This is a list. Oh, no, wait, this is the... This is the player list. Button exit. That's that. Previous and next. These are these. So we have an item image, a tooltip, and a button. And those are all being populated from this type thing, which is... I don't even know where that's getting its data from. Type is a value that's passed in from... something. Clothing shop form spec. So the shop is showing a form spec with the type, so say hats, and then this shows in this case shirts. And then that's just this table up here, I suppose. And then the table's being exploded. and doing some, I don't even know what kind of sorcery this is. It's pretty much just matching to pipes because we're separating with pipes. So then we're using pipes. We're doing an offset, which is I times 0.25. Oh, no, offset. So the offset, yeah, the offset's 1. Or I guess it's not. The offset is, yeah. But we're doing 1 plus the offset. So the first one would be 1.25, and the second one would be 2.5, and the third one would be 3.75, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that makes sense. Why? Why am I doing this to myself? This is not fun. I don't even know how I'm going to do this because this price is just an XP. Mine have 4 prices. And it's going to have every single one defined. Even if it's 0, I think. Probably. Not looking forward to this. This seems like it's not fun. Okay, well, there's nothing to do but to do it, I guess. Sitting here moping and complaining and whining is not going to get her done. And it needs to be done because without this one element, the whole game is pretty much garbage. You gotta be able to play the game. Okay, so we're just doing an item image, a tooltip, and a button. So I may actually keep... Well, I need to do an image button. Yeah, okay. I don't need an item image. I need an image button. Okay, so we're going to take an image button. Just baby steps. That's all you got to do is baby steps. So we have this. So we're going to put an image button here. And this image will be 1 by 1. For once, we have something that's easy and not a pain to work with. That's not entirely true, but... Okay, that actually has to be at 0.125 because that's what we did. There we go. It'll match up. If we have multiple rows... Why? Okay, well, I'm just going to make a couple copies of this so we can live the nightmare out. And then this would be 1.125. Wow, okay, well, clearly I have no idea what I'm doing because that is everything but right. Oh, no, I see exactly what I did. Yeah, I don't... Okay, or maybe not, because that's still not right. A negative? How did I get negative? No, I want it to be 1. No, I want this one to be 0.125 and this to be... Oh! Okay, we're slowly getting there. This should be 0. This is so confusing. There we go. So now if we do a third... I don't even know if that's necessary. That would be 2.325. Except evidently not. Oh no, it'd be 2.3. Get your head in the game here. That's still not right because this spacing is not. If we're doing 0.125, oh, it would be 3.75. There we go. Okay, so that spacing all comes out right, but now our background element's not big enough. The question is, how many buildings am I going to have? And how many buildings wide will this fit? And furthermore, will it fit perfectly? That's the big question. Okay. This is not how you would actually do this. But it's how I'm doing it. 1.125. You would do this with a function. Of course, everything's done with a function. Come on. If you're not using a function, like, what's wrong with you? Okay, so 125 would be 0.25 then. And then we would go to 0.325. So it's 3.325. No, sorry, 375. Okay, so then after 375, we're adding 0.125, so we would be at 4. 4. I don't know. My brain's mush. That's not right. 4.5. 4.5. Okay. And then if we're adding 1.125, we would be at 5.625. Okay. I think I might only need to have 2 spaces high. Because I don't think I'm going to have this many buildings. Not initially. There's no way I would have this many buildings. Okay, so that's going to be 6 point something. 12575, I think. Please be right. Yeah, okay. And then that'd be going up to 7.875. There's still space for like 3 more buttons. So 125 plus 875, I think just takes us up to 9. It sure does. Sweet. So then that puts us to 10.125. There's not enough space for a full button. Because that would put us at 11.25. And this is what we see. Ugh. Not exactly what we're looking for. To be perfectly honest. That's just... No, that's not what we want. It sticks out past the border. Can I move this to negative? I can. So I could kick the button out. I don't want to do all this math, though. So go back to 125. Oh, wait, no, I don't even... I just need to do this as a function, but the form spec editor game, you can't, because you're just doing straight code. It's not even real code. Okay, well, let me just count how many buttons we're sitting at right now. Maybe I don't need to do any of this. Maybe I have enough. So the current button count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 and 3/4, because this one kind of has to go, which means I need to rework the spacing. Which I don't want to do. Not manually, anyways. That would give me 20. What are we thinking for buildings? Logging Camp 1, Logging Camp 2, Government Center, Storage Pit 2, Farm 1, Farm 2, Farm 3. Defenses, of course. Wall 1, Wall 2. So we're at 10, that's 1 row. Turret 1, Turret 2. Excuse me. Probably barracks, because it'd be good to be able to fight back and defeat the goblins. You kind of need to do that in order to for the game to have a completion. So that was like 13 we were at. So 20 is probably fine. I'm guessing. And this would hold 30 easily. So then the big question is, how do I make this fit to the spacing? I could bump these all in a little bit from the outer edge. I should have just done this as a container. I don't know if I can do a container in the farm. You should be able to. But containers, that takes a lot of work to figure out. Wait. I don't want to deal with it right now. I don't know how I'm formulating any of this. Let's just put one button in. Let's do one building, one button. Okay, so we have this. I believe this first image is the big purple spot. So we're going to put an image button in. I don't even. Okay, we're going to do. It doesn't matter what we do. It's calling it home right now. We're just going to call it log. And then instead of it being test, it's going to be logging _1. Okay, so then if fields tab 3. No, wait, this is zone. So we already have logging 1. So theoretically logging 1, yep, does that. But that just wants to straight up buy it. So we're going to save it. We'll launch the game and you'll see what I mean here. Okay, so we pull up our inventory, we go buildings. We have this one called log. We click on it and it just says you don't have enough resources, which is funny actually because I have a whole boatload of resources. Like a lot of resources. I need 100 lumber and 25 stone. Oh, I need stone. I don't have stone. Whoops. Okay, well, I can get stone real quick. There's stone around here someplace. Here's some stone. Let me just collect. I think I can only collect 15 at a crack. Yeah. 15 stone. I'll drop it off. Hey, we have 15 stone. Let's come back, grab another 15. That'll put us at 30. So smart. So smart and so fancy. So what? And then if we click it. Oh, it crashes. Okay, great. That's fantastic. Why though? Functions, line 39. I haven't even touched that file. It doesn't make sense to me. Functions. Line 39. Add player inventory. Main player materials. Oh, what's the attempt to index local player? A nil value. Okay, do I need to? Oh, because we have puncher. Yeah, see about that. That should really be player. That's embarrassing. Okay, well, I think I probably lost my stone. Oh, no, I still have it. Nice. Okay. So we go over to the buildings tab and we click log. HUD updated, but that was because food was being dropped off or lumber, not because I purchased something that affected it. And I just instantly bought it. Not what we wanted. Okay, so if field logging one. This is no, I don't like this. Either I need to make a bajillion inventory screen, one for each, because the buy button. No. There needs to be a better way to do this. Okay, so name is player name. I don't know why we're passing that, but we are. And we're going to need, for tab 3, we're going to need to pass a building. I don't really know how this is going to work. On this, when we click on this, our building is just going to be an empty string. Just nothing. So then we'll go here and we will have if... Do I want to do that before or after? It doesn't matter, I don't think. We're going to do if building equals nothing, essentially. Then, nope, that does have to be first, because we need to use that data in this. I don't know why that indented. I didn't need that indented. Thank you very much. If building equals string, then, and actually I'm going to have to do, oh wait, no. Okay, it's still terrible, but this might make it a little less terrible. Okay. If building is a string, then can we just do like, okay. Let's think here. We're going to keep all of this. Form spec basic, the background we want. This image, that's just that box. That's going to go away anyways. I don't know. Probably remove. Okay. So we have those two. The rest of this is all data that needs to be passed through if there's a building. The buy button won't exist if you're not clicked on a building. Right? You wouldn't see any of this. So that would be the form spec. And then we would just do, we would just do a simple return form spec. Okay. And then here we do else if building equals logging _1. This is a horrible. Never do this. Please never do this. You're going to hate yourself and everything about everything. We're just going to do a simple text area. If building equals nothing, then form spec equals form spec with a simple line of text that just says click on a building above. Oh, and then that needs to return the form spec because that's what it is. Okay, and then if you click on login, I don't know. end expected to close? Oh, I don't know why it's putting it way up there. Wait, am I putting a return there? I don't think I am. I do need an end here, though. If building equals string, form spec equals the form spec plus this. Also, if the building equals logging 1, then the form spec equals the form spec plus all of that. Why is this? Oh, because I'm not. Okay. Okay, we get nothing, which I don't understand exactly. Building equals string, tab 3. Tab 3, name and a string. It should say click on a building above. Oh, wait, that might be behind this image. No, because I put it at the same spot as the original. However, it wouldn't hurt to stylize that text too. Because maybe it's just putting the text really tiny. You never know. Alas, but no, I don't know. Where is my text at? I have my buttons. I don't understand. Why? I realize there's a spelling error in that. I don't care. I just need to see if this is gonna work. Okay, so we have... Interesting. When I click on buildings, I get nothing in the console. Although there's an undefined variable of building on line 43. Oh, wow. Because there's a spelling error in it. Yeah, no, dud's not going to work. I'm not using the right variable name. Hey, there we go. Click on a building above. Now, of course, there are no buildings above yet, but there will be. So now what we're going to do, I guess the image button actually needs to be up here. So that's our background. That's our image button for the log. Then we don't need to show that here because that'll be shown there, right? And then our by would have to be by underscore logging underscore 1, which then we have to come down here into logging 1 and change this to by logging 1. I don't like this. Okay, well, so let's save her and see what happens, which will just be bad things. Buildings. We have a building we can click on. It does diddly squat. However, we do have click on a building above, so that's good. That means that's working as it should. So then we need to do... This is why I don't like this. Also fields dot logging underscore 1. Then we're just showing this form spec, but with the string of logging underscore 1. Which theoretically that'll work. but I'm going to have to do everything by hand manually, which I detest. There we go. And then if we had another one, it could just default to the first one, honestly. It would make the most sense to do that, honestly. Let's just do that. If you click the tab, let's just make go to logging one. Because honestly, there'd be no reason to ever not see that. All right, let's give it another shot. Buildings A. So then we would be typing in all of this. I don't want to do this. Logging camp. Tier 1. Cost. I don't know what the cost is on the logging camp. 100 lumber, 25 stone. 100 lumber, 25 stone. Description. An automatic lumber harvester. You will need inventory transportation units to pick up lumber and transfer it to a storage facility. That looks right. Okay. Bada boom, bada bing. I hate everything about this. There has to be a better way. There just has to be. Everything about this is terrible. So, let's do this. So we're making these tables and we're storing all these values in the table. And then we're using them here, but we're showing all of this on the same screen. See, and that's what's different, is this is all being shown on different screens. I can do the table thing to get all the buttons. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's easier. It's doable. It's not some absolutely horrible thing. Because I'm basically just doing the item images, stealing that code and using it. So it ain't bad. Also, interestingly enough, this doesn't support layers. Oh, cool. Well, let's go ahead and start that because we're going to need that. So we're just going to do for I in 1,11, I think 10 actually, do count. Oh, actually I have to put that as a local first. Local count equals 0 because we want to start at a count, and then count equals count plus 1, so that'll increment our count by 1 every time this code runs. And we'll do an end just so that we don't have a loop that doesn't have an end, because obviously you can't have that. And then we're going to do form spec equals form spec with that string. And then we can delete that string from here. Now, I don't know I don't know what I broke, but somehow something broke. Unexpected symbol near local. Local count equals 0. For 1 in 1 through 10, do. Okay. That actually should be offset. So I'll change that. Not that it makes any difference. I could use whatever naming I want. Offset equals. Oh, wait. No. No, I want. I mean, I do. Do I want that? No, I want this to be offset equals I times 0.125. Unexpected symbol near local. How is there an I don't. Oh. Yeah, that'll be why. Okay. So for I 1 through 10 offset, we have to do that after the fact, though. Because if we do it beforehand, the first one's going to have the offset applied. And we don't want the first one having the offset as per this code here. Well, I don't know. Because we kind of do need an offset on the first one of 0.125. Whatever. It's just going to be a bunch of the same buttons, but that's fine. And it crashes. Cool. Attempt to call a number value in line 44. For I in 110 do. Huh? But that's what I want. Oh. Okay, never mind. That's not what I want. I want for I equals 1, 10 do. Let's see if that's right. Hey, except none of the buildings exist. So that's fantastic. Probably because I only provided one axis, and it should have had 2 axes provided. Yeah. Hey, I have no idea what it's doing here, but it's kind of right. Okay, that should probably be 0. And offset is 0. And I is 1. Okay, so I needs to start with 0. That's all we have to do there. That makes that really easy. Except that we now don't have a space between our first offset. Why does this have to be impossible? Okay, that should be 0.125 down from the top. Why is our... Oh, wait, you know what? I might have a button that's showing from something else. If building logging 1, we have an image... Oh, no, that's our 3x3. That's this image. So these are all image buttons. But I have, for some reason, no offset between these two. Offset is 0, which would start our first one at 0. Which is right. Then our offset is I times 0.125. Which would be 0, because I is 0. That's why. Okay. What if... Our first one should have no offset. Everyone after that should. I don't understand how this works on this code, but not on this code. For I equals 1, oh, because I have for I equals 0. So this must just be offsetting by 1 to start with, which it probably is. Oh. But wait a second. Is that not what we want it to do? I don't know. Huzzah! That's exactly what we want it to do. Okay, now unfortunately, as you can tell, we have a spacing issue here. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No problemo, right? We just change this down to 9 because we're starting at 0. But we're going to have to make our spacing a little bit different, which I'm not a fan of because it's not going to be perfect. And it's going to end up stupid no matter what. So let's see what we get with a 0.3 value. Okay. Let's go to 1.4. It's such a hacky way to do this. But honestly, it's the only way I know of. Okay, well, let's try a 1.5. I'm sure there's some kind of math I could do here that would solve for this. Actually, there is math that I could do that would solve for this. And it's not even that complicated. Let me pull up a calculator, sheet of paper. Okay, so we know our image that we're putting in here as the background is 12. And we have 10 buttons, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we have 10 buttons. 12 minus 10 is 2. If there's 10 buttons, that means there's 9 spaces between them, right? 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I'm counting this. Yes, it means that. So all we need to do is do 2 divided by 9. 2 divided by 9. And that equals 0.222222222222222 ad infinitum. So we would just change this to a bunch of 2s, which I don't like. But there we go. I feel like I could probably do 3 2s and we would be fine. You know, let's try with 2 2s. 2 2s? Let's see what 2 2s does. Okay, it's almost good enough, but it's not. So we're going to go up to 3. I hate everything about this, but this is my life. There we go. It's close enough. You know, there is 1 pixel visible if you look super closely. Just don't look super closely. That's all I can say. I am... Oh, because our first one's offset to 0. Yeah, this is 0. Okay, that makes sense. So then I suppose... Should we put the height at the same so that the space between them is the same as the space above them? I mean, I feel like we should, because it's something that would annoy me. Like, why is the spacing not equal? Okay, it's equal now, so we should probably change this one as well. Right? So then, there we go. They line up to the top. Our spaces here don't equal anymore. And you can tell that that doesn't match, but I don't... How much more exact do I want to be? None. Okay, we could try this. What if we took 3 divided by 8? Comes out to 375. So we could do... Because this comes out to an exact now. If we change all of these to 375 and we put 8 in a row, Okay, let's give her a whirl. Spacing is perfect, but there's a lot of dead space between them, which I don't care for. So then that begs the question, what if we make the buttons 1 1/8? This just gets worse and worse. Because now, of course, the buttons are bigger, so I don't think it still works. No, it doesn't. So then I have to... I don't know why I'm doing any of this. 1.125 times 8 gives me 9. 9 gave me 0.2222222 ad infinitum. Okay, well, what if we do 1.25 times, I don't know, 7? I guess 1.25 times 7 equals 8.75 minus 10 yields 125 divided by, if that was 7, we're dividing that by 6, 0.2083333 ad infinitum. There is no good solution here. This is just, it's gonna be bad. And I hate it. Okay, well, why are we doing an offset of 375? Let's do an offset of 0.25. I don't know what I'm doing. That's an offset of 0.25? Okay. So what if we play around with the size of the buttons? There's so much just opening and closing. Okay, so then our offset has to be, let's put it up to 375. There's probably some mathematic formula that you could just punch a couple numbers in and it would give you everything you need to know. I don't know that formula. Someone please enlighten me. What is the formula? It's still too big. There's not going to be a good way to do this. How many buttons do I have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 buttons. So let's drop that down to 7. 7 gives me 8 buttons. We're starting the array at 0. I don't know if it's technically an array. Okay, we're doing an offset of 375. So let's put these up to 375. And then change our offset to the next step up from 375.5. That can't be right. Okay. I mean, that's not bad. I can make them square just so we see what it actually looks like. There we go. Okay. That spacing is... I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. I want it to be perfect. And it ain't going to be perfect. It is what it is. Okay, well, we can copy all of this. And we're just going to make it do 2 of them. Our offset's at 0.5, so... I think we're back to 0.125 actually. So put this to 0.125 for the top. And then we need to add 0.125 to 375, which should be 1.5. I think. And let's see if this works. If this works, where's my second image button? What's going on? Why doesn't this work? Oh, it doesn't work because I'm an idiot and I had a decimal point where I should have had a decimal point. Okay. Yeah, well, we could have used a different colored texture so we could see the difference here. But they're matching up perfectly right now. So this needs to be 625. Which will match it perfectly to the bottom, I think, actually. Now, of course, all of this becomes garbage as soon as we introduce a scroll bar. Okay. I don't like this one bit. I just don't like it. All right, so if we're dealing with a scroll bar and inventory slots, I don't even know how we do this. I use a scroll bar in something, someplace, somewhere, in another mod. How long has this been going? 3.5 hours? What time is it? I think I just really need to call this quits for right now. I need some fresh thoughts, some fresh vitalization of my mind. Cause this ain't all it's cracked up to be, man. It's just there's got to be a better way of doing this. This whole thing looks good, but how do I get all the data? I have to pass all the data from something, which means the data needs to exist in something. It's easy enough to throw in some new stuff into here. I have it in the trees, actually. So if we go to lumber, we have this initial count of 250. So it's pretty easy to do underscore. You don't technically have to do underscore, but it's recommended just in case a field is at some point used as an engine. You have back compat because the engine, I guess, is never going to use an underscore in the beginning of a field name. So I can do that, but I don't know how I'm going to make that update. It just all needs to be done automagically. And it's, I don't know. How do I just pass a value off of a button? I feel like I do it someplace. I just need to figure out where I do it and make it work. I don't know. We're gonna wrap things up here. Oh yeah, my face has been on top of all this. That's cool. We're gonna wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. Probably do another stream tomorrow, honestly. Just doing a lot of streams here. You know, while the game jam goes, gotta make hay while the sun shines. Not that there's any hay being made, but you know what I mean. Gotta stream, man. I got a cable. I actually found the cable, but it's not long enough anymore. Just very confusing. So maybe it wasn't the same cable. I don't know. I ordered a new one that's longer because I found so. Yeah, maybe this wasn't the cable. Turns out it's the same size as a hard drive cable. So I have a feeling it's floating around with a portable hard drive someplace. But whatever, we'll just order a new one. It was like $6, no big deal. Yeah, we're going to wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. Good luck on the game jam if you are participating yourself. If you're not, and you're just along for the lulls and the kicks and giggles and you want to play the game, it is linked down in the video description, whatever. I mean, it's semi-playable. I mean, you can make lumberjacks and foragers that aren't smart enough to go back to bushes that have food on them that are closer. I don't understand what these idiots are doing. think actually I know exactly what they're doing. They're going back to the last food bush they were at and looking for a new food bush instead of looking for a new food bush around where they're at because one might exist now that didn't used to. I might make the food bushes disappear so you have to do farming. Cause, I mean, it does take 10 minutes for a food bush to grow back, though. So, I don't know. Anyway, wrapping it up here. Thanks for watching. I will catch you guys next time.